got a great one in store between the Minnesota Vikings and the Philadelphia Eagles. What twists and turns will January have in store for us? The NFL playoffs are officially underway. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The first carry now for Dalvin Cook. 9 yards is the pickup there, and they'll have a 2nd and 1.
A nice run here early on. It doesn't take a great play caller to realize you want to establish a guy of his caliber with runs like this early because they'll pay dividends as the game progresses.
The previous run, good for 9. Here's 2nd and a yard. Cousins gives way to Cook. And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield. They'll wind up losing 3 yards here. And all of a sudden here, it's 3rd down.
Get the high! 180! Pick it up, guys. Pick it up.
From the gun, here's Cousins. And this one hauled in by Rudolph. 10 yards, and it's good for a Viking first down.
That was a route run not just with dexterity, but with intelligence. Found the hole in the zone, made sure the quarterback saw him, and was able to make the sure catch and flip the down marker back to 1.
Here we go, here we go. Check. 53.
On 1st and 10, Cousins. Flush to his right. And he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down. Nigel Bradham just would not be denied. That's a loss of 7. You never want to give up a sack. From the O-line's perspective, they hate it for several reasons, especially because they felt like they let little brother down back there in the pocket.
Oh, no doubt. They have a ton of pride, and they go into every job wanting to keep that guy clean. They want that uniform with no grass stains, no dirt, nothing on it, but it's really, really difficult. You're talking about some terrific athletes who are trying to put him on the ground.
Now, following the sack, they'll look to make amends on a 2nd down and 17. Cousins. And Diggs has it. They get 14 back, but it leads now to a 3rd down.
One thing we do know, he's going to get his catches. So as they move forward defensively, got to continue to focus on not giving up the big play when he does catch the ball in the secondary.
The Eagles call on the extra defensive back here as they prepare for a stop on 3rd down. From the shotgun, it's Cousins. Looks to throw, fires right side. And that's going to be incomplete. The coverage too good there. The contact popped the ball free, and it's 4th down. So on 4th down, Britton Colquitt on to punt. Back deep is Darren Sproles. And he'll get this away into the icy winter air. And now that'll kick out of bounds, and this is going to be spotted back at their own 30. Oh, man. So 1st and 10 now from the 30.
Here we go. Switch. Kill. Joker. Blue draw Corker.
And he'll be tackled at about the 35. Anthony Barr in on the tackle.
When we see those runs to the perimeter, when we see those runs to the edge, we think about big breakers, don't we? In this case, it was a modest gain, but it does open up possibilities here on 2nd down.
Gray 15. Check. Hey, Alpha.
Now a play fake. Wentz. He's letting this one go for Fuller. That's caught inside the 20. Touchdown, Philadelphia. Will Fuller. 65 yards. And they are able to strike first here on their opening drive. Well, we knew they had the crowd on their side. Their defense has already made a stop, but now here's an opening drive touchdown.
Yeah, how about the defense making the stop, offense feeling their momentum that they've generated, and turning it into points on their side. So now you've got a team working together, and they got the crowd involved fully on their side in this ball game.
And in this playoff atmosphere, that 12th man means even more. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. They've been a come-from-behind team all year. They'll need to do it again as they trail early in this wild card game.
53, check 53.
1st down. Here's Cousins. Eluding the pressure right. And he will go down outside of the pocket for a sack. Tried to get away, but could not.
We said it before the game, and I think it's still apparent. If these guys are going to advance in these playoffs, they're going to have to wreak some havoc coming off the edge.
Yeah, wild card round. They told us the wild card could be that defensive pressure. They showed it there. After the sack, it's 2nd and 19, and the road gets a bit tougher from here. Now Cousins. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off by Rodney McLeod. And he'll score. Touchdown, Eagles. And this defense looking like they have come to play the pick six, and just like that, it's 13-0 early on.
Well, go back with me to our training camp visits. What do we hear during these drills? Pass. Ball's in the air.
And then my favorite.
Oski. That's the interception. That means everybody finds someone to block them legally, stay on your feet, and they get it done. Touchdown.
And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of the teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything. At least 3 points, get that 0 off the board. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. On the ground, it's Cook. And he's going to be stopped up quickly here. Just a yard up to the 39.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
You gonna see me in your nightmare. Check. 53's mine. Check. Two. Hey, let's get this. Greystone, travel. Watch the twins. Gun.
On 2nd and 9, Cousins gonna let it fly for Rudolph, and that'll be incomplete. Good protection that time, but they couldn't hook up on the long one. Now it's 3rd down.
What I loved about meeting with these coaches before the game is we didn't even have to ask any questions. They told us that they were going to be aggressive and push the ball downfield. They weren't successful on that play, but look for them to try it again later.
After an incomplete pass on 2nd down, that'll leave him trying to convert on 3rd and 9. To throw is Cousins. And that is incomplete.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
Fair catch called for and made at the 16 or maybe the 17-yard line. A 40-yard punt, no return. And the Eagles will have it, taking over 1st and 10. Already at the line, this Philly offense set to go. They've got things going their way early. 14-0 lead and the football. 1st and 10. Ito Smith, his first carry. And he'll take this up only to about his 18-yard line. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
Well, they didn't get a whole lot out of that one, but I think you got to continue to try and run and try and keep the defense honest.
You mean, or else they'll just sit back, dare you to throw it on every down?
Yeah, you get your quarterback hit a lot that way, too.
They fake the give. Now Wentz. And he finds his tight end. It's Ertz. And he's got this almost to the 40 before going out. That good for 21 yards on the catch and run.
His position, and he's listed as a tight end, but he certainly doesn't run like one, and that's what we're seeing more and more coming into the league. Those guys who can run, make plays after the catch, and gain that additional yardage.
And using that speed there to turn it into a pretty nice little gain.
Push him back.
On the draw, this is Smith. Anthony Harris on the tackle. Trying to get one more in here before the quarter breaks. 14-0 the score. This is the NFL on EA Sports. Now 2nd quarter action from Philadelphia, and it's the Eagles in possession as they are looking at a 2nd down and 6 coming up.
Hey, let's get that ball, D. Let's get that ball. Check 31. Check that. Black.
To throw on 2nd and 6. Wentz. He's going to let this go deep for Jackson. And that will be incomplete. Tried to dial up the long way out there, but it'll be 3rd down. Those passes out that far wide always make you hold your breath a little bit. Felt like it was in the air for a while.
What it does is it allows a defender to gain some ground, come from a long distance, and have a chance to affect the pass.
So after the 2nd down incompletion, they'll come up now against a 3rd and 6. Wentz. And down he goes. They bring down Wentz on the sack. Stephen Weatherly coming in to drop him for a loss of 8, and it also brings up 4th. And the punt team on now as this one's sent away.
Come on, man. Let's go.
At their own 35-yard line.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And they're in a bind early here, down 14-0. Are you worried at this stage or still too early?
You're worried. You're just trying not to transmit it to the rest of your team. You want to make sure that they stay positive, but at the same time, you're wondering, how are we going to move the football? What do we have on this play sheet that can work? Get back to basics is usually your answer, and make sure you find the guy who can move the ball fastest for you if you just get it in his hands.
Yeah, still second quarter. You get points on the board here. I think you're feeling okay. From the 38, Cousins. Looking for Diggs, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Rodney McLeod. And a huge return as he'll take this one all the way down inside the 30-yard line.
And that's now the second time he's picked off a pass here in the first half alone. Again, another great read defensively, and you just see him get in the right position to make the play and get his guys the football back.
A first down carry for Smith. Trying to find a lane, but instead he'll get back to the line of scrimmage, and no more. Eric Kendricks in on the tackle.
That didn't appear to be a run blitz. He just darted in once he saw the run develop. That appeared to be a case of see ball, get ball.
So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10.
Here we go.
Working from the gun, Wentz. He'll hit Jackson, complete. That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
Two minutes gone by, second quarter.
Mike 5-4, Mike 5-4, Mike 5-4. Ain't no such thing as a loss. We take a win. Hey, 5-7. Right there, 54, right there. 54, Mike.
Now Wentz on 3rd down. And unable to connect, incomplete. Now give them credit, they took their shot, but it's going to bring up 4th down.
You hear the calls for a penalty, but I just don't think so. I think in this situation, the defender was making sure his guy couldn't hold on to the football. So I don't see anything that warranted a flag.
No, I'm with you. There was contact, but I'm happy they kept that flag in the back pocket. They got the interception, but very little movement after, and that forces them to settle for 3. And it does feel like settling when that happens, doesn't it?
It certainly does, but we got to give a lot of credit where it's due, and that's to the defense because they ran onto the field. This is what we call sudden change, right? Interception, you've got to go put out the fire, and they did, holding them to a field goal.
At their own 27-yard line.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And we don't want to call this desperation time, especially in the second quarter, but you're down.
You don't want to.
Well, no, but let me finish.
Okay, my bad.
You're down 3 scores already. You've done nothing offensively, nothing on the scoreboard. That's not a good combination.
I think you just called it desperation time. I think you did. But let's face it, you mentioned this to me in a break earlier in the game. The energy level hasn't been there right from the start. We've noticed that. They've got to find a way to get on their toes and start punching instead of retreating, to use a boxing analogy.
Let's go, D. Tighten up. Switch. Lucky 48.
On second down, it's Cook. And he'll get it out near the 40 to the 39. They'll get 3 as the drive continues. It's a first down.
Exactly what they needed right there, because they needed to use the ground game to take some pressure off, because the quarterback's been struggling a little bit.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. First down, here's the run with Cook. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
Well, they had that one sniffed out. Excellent run blitz. Stop that one for a short gain.
What makes a good run blitz a good run blitz?
The ability to stay on task, to follow up your assignment, go to the gap you're supposed to cover, and not be deterred by anything else.
Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run.
Pull it together.
Leave it, 48.
Let's go.
Go.
It's our time. Mike 17.
Pilot, 64, weak.
17. 6 man.
Lucky 50.
Check curls. Shit.
Watch twist, like that.
They'll try to throw now. Cousins. It's complete to Diggs. His 2nd catch of this wild card game, and it goes for a first down.
A gain of 13 yards. And the Vikings first down.
2 minutes to play here in this first half of the NFL playoffs. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. They'll run on first down. It's Cook, and just no chance of turning the corner. He can only get back to the line of scrimmage. 2nd and 10 coming up.
No gain on the play. 2nd and 10 at the 46-yard line.
Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again 2nd and 10.
Mike 17.
Hey, Haywood.
Mike 17. Get ready.
Hey, we're good.
17's Mike 17. Rip left.
Hey, exit.
To throw, Cousins. And a big loss here as he's taken down. Derek Barnett, give him the credit for the sack and a loss of 14 yards. The Vikings going to signal for the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with exactly a minute to go before halftime. And some secondary help here for the defense in the nickel on 3rd and long. Play action now. Cousins trying to lay one up deep. And it falls incomplete after almost being intercepted. A pick there would have been great. The good news for the defense now, it's 4th down. Here's Britton Colquitt now as he's on to punt for Minnesota. And he uncorks a beauty. Best of the day. And problems spreading to the punt team now. This one goes all the way into the end zone on the fly, so that'll come back to the 20. The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. You've got under a minute to go here until halftime. You got the good-sized lead. No need to do anything crazy.
No, there really is no need to do anything crazy. The smart play, go ahead and take your lead into the locker room and then try and add to it in the second half. But there's a part of me that looks at this and says, first half going my way, I have a little bit of a cushion. Let's go ahead and try and extend things. If you've got some good plays drawn up, you might want to think about them right here.
And down he goes. They bring down Wentz on the sack.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
Don't need it all back at once, but you figure they're going to need something here. 17 yards to go on 2nd down. To throw is Wentz. It's caught by Aguilar. And they'll get it all the way up about 5 yards shy of midfield. Now the Eagles will use the 2nd of their timeouts as they'll stop the clock with 12 seconds to go in this first half.
Switch up.
At the 45-yard line.
Wentz now on first down. And that is incomplete. 7 seconds remaining.
Intended for Nelson Aguilar. Incomplete. Harrison Smith on the coverage.
So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10.
Get the ball. Check 37.
On play action, Wentz. He's going to fire one deep left side. That's caught at the 25. And he'll cross over out of bounds right at the 25. A gain there of 30 big ones.
For the field goal. A 42-yard attempt.
And the kick by Elliott is good. So we come upon halftime here in this NFC wildcard matchup. As we'll send you down the coast now to Orlando, that's where we find Jonathan Coachman ready with our EA Sports halftime report. Coach, one of these two teams about to play their final half of the season as we're back at it in this NFC wildcard bout. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Already at the line, this Philly offense set to go. They built a good first-half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively. And he'll fight forward to about the 27-yard line. Only a yard on the pickup, and now they've got a 3rd down and 8.
Well, if the coaching staff's doing a good job upstairs, they'll file away what they just saw from the defense right there. They sold out to stop that running play. I'd say keep that in mind. They want to try that again. Go play action, hit them over the top.
Y'all playing the wrong foot.
From the gun on 3rd down, Wentz. And the throw there going to be incomplete. So no problems moving the ball in the first half, but they'll likely come up empty here on drive 1 of quarter 3.
And it was so important for the defense to get that stop because what we witnessed in the first half was them getting run over. And they needed the confidence, and they needed to get off the field so they felt good going forward in this game.
That'll wind up being a 50-yard punt, though they do get 10 back on the return. And the Vikings will take over here 1st and 10. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. These guys had to punt last time. It has not been a very fruitful game offensively thus far. They haven't even made a trip to the red zone.
And I know that everyone's going crazy on that sideline because that drives you berserk to come off the field, not really move the ball well. As you said, not even get to the red zone, let alone, not even put points on the board. They've got to just take a deep breath, relax, try and figure out what is working, and call more of that.
Here's 2nd and 10 now from the 29.
You better be afraid of me. You better be afraid of me. Mike 17, Mike 17. Rip right.
Hey, echo.
Mike 17. Quit talking about it and bring it. Mike 17. Mike 17.
Gun.
You remember me? You remember me? Let's go.
Where's the hot?
Now Cousins. And he's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. Picked off by Ronald Darby. And they will finally get him down as he's all the way to the 36-yard line.
And that's a great example of ball skills right there, partner. You and I do a lot of games, and I can't tell you how many guys look to run with the football before they've intercepted it. So that's a nice job of focusing on the task at hand and coming away with the interception.
Trying to get the run game going. Here's Smith. A solid run on 1st down. Gain of 7 leaves him with a 2nd and 3. They'll run it again with Smith. And he'll go down here right around the 23-yard line. 6 yards to pick up, and that's a 1st down. On 1st down, Smith. And able to get about 3 as he's taken down right at the 20.
3rd quarter and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
Check. Walk 54. Let's go, D. Let's go. Check it out.
Hey, empty. Protein spill.
On 2nd down now, it's Smith. And he'll take this inside the 20 and down to the 18. Call it a gain of a couple, and that's going to leave him with a 3rd and about 5.
Tough day, tough sledding right there, and it's been that way the entire game. Not a whole lot of room to ramble for him.
Yeah, you're right. It's been that way all afternoon. Didn't get a whole lot better there.
Let's go.
Sunday. 46 down, man. 5-4.
Mike 5-4. I got you. I got you.
From the gun, it's Wentz. And that is caught. It's Aguilar for the Eagle touchdown. Nelson Aguilar there to make the grab. And the Eagles able to push further out in front. Elliott good with a PAT. And that stretches the lead all the way up to 27. Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away. This will be taken in at the 1. Broken tackle. And he will be brought down here at about the 17-yard line.
The Vikings take over 1st and 10 at their own 17-yard line.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. They have been struggling. I would imagine at halftime they went through some possible changes. Well, those changes aren't working, so now where do you go?
I think that now it's much...
And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off by Rodney McLeod. And that gives him now 3 interceptions in the game.
Well, someone's locked into what they're trying to get done in the passing game. When was the last time we had someone get 3 in a contest?
2011, wasn't it? Kurt Coleman?
Oh, yeah, that's
then
right.
with the Eagles?
That's right. Then with the Eagles, and I believe it's against Washington and Rex Grossman.
That's correct. So after the INT, here's Wentz. And that'll wind up incomplete. Try to give his man room to run under it, but it's 2nd down. They work again from the 38 on 2nd and 10. They'll try the right side here with Smith. And he works it past the 30, almost to the 25.
A good run there off right tackle in an old-school NFL football. The right side of the offensive line, often known as the nasty side. The left side, usually the technical side. Kind of reminds me of the old Atlanta Falcons 2009-2010. That's how they constructed their offensive line.
They keep it with Smith on 1st down. And he'll get about 4 as he's brought down at the 24.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6.
Hey, here I come. Here I come. Here I come. Here I come.
Here's Wentz to throw. And he's got it. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Philadelphia. 3 touchdown passes now for Carson Wentz as his guys continue to put this one out of reach. Elliott on for the extra point. And the lead grows even larger here in the 3rd quarter.
Next to score, Eagles 34, Vikings nothing. Jake Elliott to kick off for Philadelphia.
Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away. Fielded about a yard deep. And this return net's positive as he gets past the 25 and up to the 27-yard line.
Vikings take over 1st and 10 at their own 27-yard line.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And last time, 1-play interception, so this offense, they should be fresh.
That's a good win.
Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Fletcher Cox coming right up the gut. Gets in there for a loss of 9.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
And they need to work to at least get some of this yardage back after the sack. 2nd and 19. Play fake. Cousins. That's complete to the receiver, Thielen. A good pickup there, 18 yards as they get closer for third down.
One of the feature points of the in route is being able to make a nice throw to the middle part of the field. And for a quarterback, that's one of the better throws and better looks that he'll get. But he has to be careful not to wait too long and let his receiver wander into some tough territory. If he's late with the ball, he can get his receiver hit and hit hard.
And Cook was fighting for it, but I don't think he got there. That'll make it fourth down after a loss of 1. And how about the call here? They need 2 yards in their own territory on fourth down, and they're going to go for it. They'll indeed go for it. It's Cousins. And he's able to find Diggs. And he's out of bounds, but not before a big pickup that time on what's going to wind up being the final play of the third quarter. Cousins now 5 straight completions here in this second half. 1st and 10. Throwing, Cousins. Setting up the screen for Cook. And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. 2nd and right at a yard.
For a second there, I thought that might break big. Screen pass. Looked like it was coming together. Looked like there was an opening. Still, ended up with a solid gain.
That last catch short of the marker by just a yard leaves him with a very manageable 2nd and 1. Back to the ground, Cook. And he'll go down at the 28. 2 yards, good enough for a first.
2nd and 1 is often an invitation to take the big shot downfield. I bet the offensive lineman said, are you kidding? We just get on our backs and let's go get the first down. They love being physical.
Mike, number 53. Mike, 53. On yard.
They run again on first down. Cook. And he gets it all the way down inside the 10 and mark him at the 5. 23 yards on the pickup there and a first. He showed his shiftiness and his explosion to take him all the way down near the goal line.
Love that description, and it creates momentum. Maybe you hand it to him again since he's got it going, or do you fake it to him and throw it to a teammate? Right now, the options.
And he will take this one into the end zone for a Viking touchdown. A 5-yard touchdown run. And the Vikings are able to cut into that deficit. And now they'll empty the backfield here as they elect to go for 2. From the gun, here's Cousins. And he's got it for the 2-point conversion. So they tack on a pair more here to narrow that deficit a bit further. So still lots of work left to do, but here comes the onside kick. And the Eagles dodge a bullet. They cover it up. Look at the spin.
Balance.
Well, fourth quarter, they felt like they needed the football back. Unfortunately, they couldn't get it.
And I know we brought analytics into the game, and someone has said here that the data says that when a team's expecting an onside kick, 80% of the time, the team expecting it, they do actually recover the ball, which is what we saw here. I just wonder if that number is much more of a anecdotal type of a number. Kind of like when the coaches tell us, well, when you score on special teams, 93% of the time you win the game. I'm still waiting to see that number is empirical.
And now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete. Well, the incompletion there stops the clock. Any surprise they're throwing here late?
Ordinarily, yes, because you would think enough is enough. They've got plenty of lead, but I've seen this a bunch of times as well. The defense is going to crowd the line of scrimmage. If you just hand it off inside, you're getting your running back popped a lot as well. Sometimes the defense dictates it. If they're going to crowd it, you may have no other choice but to throw it downfield.
On second down, here's Smith. Flashy little move, but unable to reach the 40. After getting stuffed on first down, not much better there. 2-yard gain.
Bottom line, they want to keep this clock rolling, so they'll take that one right there. They just want to keep falling forward, and they want to put the onus on the big fellas up front in order to bring this one home.
The Eagles on third down. They've only converted once in 4 tries. This is 3rd and 8.
Mike's 5-4, Mike's 5-4, Mike's 5-4.
Hey, seam 6. Seam 6.
Shotgun now for Wentz. This is caught by Jackson. His second catch of this wild card game, and it goes for a first down. Wentz now a perfect 8 for 8 to start the second half. Not bad. 1st and 10. Throwing is Wentz. He's got Fuller. And he is out of bounds, but first he gets it inside the 10 to the 7. 23 yards on the play.
When you have someone throwing it that well, that confidently, you don't have to call the game in fear at all, do you? You just go ahead and play.
Yep, confidence with a lead to throw it here in the 4th, and boom, he's on the money.
Yeah, you don't have to tuck your head in and go like turtle at this point. You can just go ahead and play.
Watch twins. Watch twins.
Here,
Me. Hey, watch that. Watch.
Porky, 82, Porky.
54.
To throw, it's Wentz. Fighting for the end zone. He lost the football. It's out. And he'll score. Touchdown, Eagles. Taking it in from 7 yards away as his guys continue to pour it on. Well, look, this is a team, Charles, they've faced adversity all year long. They had to fight and claw to win that division, but they're putting it all together here in the wild card game.
Feels like a statement, doesn't it? An absolute statement game, a message to the top seeds. Overlook us at your own peril. We're pretty darn good.
And is there bad blood here? I mean, go for 2 when you're up that much?
If there wasn't before, there is now. When you do that, you've just announced to everyone, you just don't care about the other side at all. All you care about is what you're doing, and they just want to pile up points.
They did.
Their own 25-yard line.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
Now a throw right side taken in here to start this drive. It'll go as a gain of 25 on a play that started back at the 25. Well, they had held him pretty well in check, but if you recall back in the first quarter, you said they needed to avoid the big play. He finally gets loose.
And the thing about it, it doesn't have to be a bunch of big plays. Sometimes one big play can be enough. That's why it's tough to deal with a guy like that.
They'll run on first down. It's Cook. And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 45-yard line. Call that a loss of 5 yards on the play. And it'll make this a 2nd and long.
Good route here.
Tie that left. 4 down. Mike,
Bravo.
From the shotgun, it's Cousins. And this is Cook with a grab. A big play there for Minnesota. 48 yards. Defensively, I know they have the comfortable lead here in the 4th, but they do not want to give up big plays like that.
They want to finish strong. So oftentimes in this situation, you tighten up underneath in your coverage, and you bring your safeties back. They can pick up anything that leaks through. But in the meantime, upfield, you're making plays on the football.
It'll be a pickup of 4, and it brings up 2nd and goal.
Well, it's been the air game that's taken them down on this drive before they finally turned around and handed it off on the last play.
And now they're looking for the big boys to get him in the end zone. Couldn't do it there.
It'll be interesting to see. Offensive lines had to pass block a lot on this drive. Will they be able to revert and fire out and create some space in the run game?
And a lot of talent on this Eagle defense, and you've seen it on these last 2 plays, both losses. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So the Vikings in possession of the football as we get you reset. They've got it 3rd and goal now as they try to punch in a late touchdown. On the carry, it's Cook. And they'll get him down about 3 yards short of the first. Give him a couple on the run there, and now they're in that in-between area here on 4th and goal.
It's 4th and goal at the 3-yard line.
And here just playing for pride at this point. Down big, but they'll go for it on 4th and goal.
Hey, foxtrot, foxtrot.
Now Cousins on 4th down. Pressure comes, and down he goes. The Eagles get there for the sack. Fletcher Cox. And this Eagle defense stands tall down near the goal line. The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. And this game comfortably in hand. The scoreboard speaks for itself, but you still got your starting quarterback out there. When do you go to the backup, let him get some time?
And that's one of the great questions in the NFL, Brandon, because I'm just going to tell you, in the 2015 season, I commentated on 3 games in a row that were blowouts. And in none of them did the starting quarterback ever come out of the game for the team that had a big lead. And in each instance, I asked the coaches later on, why didn't you do that? And they all looked at me and said, just don't really do that in the NFL. These guys play, and we just play them all the way through. Now,
pressure gets to him, and down he goes. Back at the 4-yard line. The Vikings going to signal for the first of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with just under 50 seconds remaining in the 4th. Eagles coming up here on a 3rd and long, so Wentz and company with some work to do after the sack. Wentz. And he finds his tight end. It's Ertz. And he'll take this one up to about the 6-yard line. Now the Vikings will use the second of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the game. And he gets this away, and look at this. This is a good one. And this one will not be returnable as it sails out of bounds.
First and 10 at their own 28-yard line.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. They are just obviously getting shellacked here in this one, Charles. What's the message if you're a coach for this final drive in a lopsided game like this?
for a lot of coaches,
be honest,
don't forget today. Don't forget what has happened out here.
Yeah, use that as ammo.
Exactly. Take a great look at that scoreboard. Realize how poorly.
And the pressure too much that time as Cousins goes down. The Vikings going to use their third and final timeout as they'll stop it with 27 seconds showing on the clock. Well, they're in some hot water now after that sack. It's 2nd and 21.
Everyone, you got four down. 17's Mike.
Five.
Check.
They go play action. Cousins. And he's going to go down again. Fletcher Cox able to disrupt yet another pass play. That is his third sack of the afternoon.
That right now, that's a defeated team out there. I think you can see it totally in their body language.
Hands on hips, heads low. It's just been a struggle from the start.
Yeah, this team has been thoroughly beaten right from the word go.
And Rudolph has it, the tight end. And he is out of bounds, able to get it across the 20-yard line. Well, one win down, still 3 to go to get to the most hallowed ground in sports, but a good start.
A terrific start because they get to move on. Unfortunately for the team that lost, it's a long offseason ahead for them now.
So that's a wrap for Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin, and this has been a presentation of the NFL on